Just want to make sure we're on the same page. Let's talk about our bets real quick and knock this out. It's
speed through these.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the college football board well at all. I am in the back of a van full of smoke at this point. Like, I feel like I'm in Cheech and Chong's van. I can't see anything. It wasn't good. I didn't have a good outing last week. Went 5-4, which is still winning. But the 4 losses were bad. Really, I didn't have a good week because COVID has obviously been terrible. But there's been one positive in my life due to COVID, and I have not been drunk gambling middle of games in live betting games. That went out the window this weekend. The football gods decided they no longer wanted to grant me the Notre Dame Whisperer tag anymore. That's gone miserably. UNC is fraudulent. I hate them. Finally bought into their hype, and they absolutely shit the bed. I'm done with them. But this week we're going to go more gut. I don't love this board at all. I have a couple games I like, but I don't love it. Let's start Big Ten. We've been talking about them. Illinois, Wisconsin. -19.5. Wisconsin's favored. Over under 51.5. My initial reaction was like, oh, just go Wisconsin, because I feel like they usually just kill these games. But after doing a little research into it, hearing what we said today, I kind of like 19.5 for Illinois. That's a big spread to cover first week of a season. So I got Illinois in that one.
I love this game, and that was my pick too. I see Wisconsin possibly struggling with the younger quarterback, and Illinois coming in with the seasoned Brandon Peters, and at least putting up a fight. I don't see them winning this game by really any stretch of the imagination, but I do see them keeping it under 19.5. Now that's also interesting too, because Wisconsin doesn't have that many like close games. Like, they either run you over or they don't play well. So I am scared. I loved this bet until I ran through that scenario in my head.
Yeah, that's the problem I'm having with this one, because part of my head's like, this is a game that feels like Wisconsin would just normally blow out the water. Like, they would cover a big spread like this. But, and part of me is concerned because I don't know, Illinois could stumble out of the blocks. But 19.5 in a weird season feels like a lot to try to cover, especially when you're not a high-powered offense like in Ohio State. It just feels like a big number week one to try to cover, especially when your primary attack is running the ball and then playing really good defense.
Also, too, you got to remember that Wisconsin is your quintessential Big Ten team. If they're up by a little bit, they're not going to run the score up.
That's also true. Yeah.
They don't, but they don't try to. But
no, they don't try to.
The team is not stopping the run. I mean, they run for 300 yards and 7 touchdowns against you.
This is true. This is very true. Yeah, I'm gonna take. I don't know if they're gonna be on my card. I'll tweet my official card out on Saturday, but I'm leaning heavily towards Illinois there. North Carolina State. I initially was like, bet it all on North Carolina. Screw UNC, but their quarterback's out, and so I don't love that anymore. Tim, you apparently love UNC, so would you like to pick them this game? Line also is at 15.5 over under 60.
I do like UNC. Did they officially declare him out, or is there still like?
I thought he was in. I mean, that hit.
I don't remember.
I want to say
I know he got knocked out,
but yeah, he's. I don't even know what planet he's on right now.
Because I do like UNC in this game. I think that the last game was what I warned everybody about in Mac Brown, and that
he's got a broken fibia. I was like, I thought he was just like dead.
Yep. So he's definitely done.
Yeah, I think he's playing.
I think UNC is a good team, and they just had a Mac Brown moment where he just lost his mind for a game. So I do like UNC in this game minus the 15.5.
All right. I'm staying away from it with a 20-foot pole. I'm going to see if North Carolina can rebound, but I figured it was worth bringing up. Ohio State, Nebraska, 26.5 is the line. Over-under is at 68. I feel like this has overwritten.
I love this. I love the over in this game. I see Ohio State putting up like 60 points. So I don't think the over is that far out of the question with the 68. I mean, you can really hope Nebraska will put up 8 points. So,
yeah, I think Ohio State's offense should just fly around. And I think Nebraska's good enough because Adrian Martinez is back and they play. I feel like they play well-ish in garbage time with this game, so that's why I like that over and a half. I don't know about the spread. I don't have a good feel on that spread because I'm more of a wait and. The theme of this weekend is going to be wait and see on these Big Ten teams. I want to see them get a game underneath them before I start really kind of flinging around wagers on the spreads. But I feel like the over's pretty good there. This is a pick I like. Clemson, Syracuse. 46 is the line.
Okay.
Over-unders at
like this
62.
game?
I like it for this reason and this reason alone. I feel like this number has been super inflated because of last week and them looking like the damn dream team playing Venezuela out there. Syracuse.
What a line.
The problem is Clemson only once this season has scored over 50 points because their starters, Dabo is huge on the if you practice, you play when you can. And this probably will be not the last time it happens, but like there's no incentive there for them to, they're going to blow the doors off them in the first half. But 46 feels large, and Syracuse plays terrible defense. But once they pull the starters, Clemson's quarterbacks are banged up, their backup quarterbacks are banged up. I feel like Syracuse is good. It's just too big of a spread. Like I feel like they'll beat them by 40, but they've only scored more than 50 points once this season so far, Clemson, and that's because they pull their guys super early. And that's what I'm relying on here. I feel like Syracuse, that's just so enormous that I don't feel like they're in for another game like where they had against Georgia Tech.
Well, you've talked me into liking that spread, but I'm not picking it.
That's fine.
It scares the hell out of me.
It is on my card. Alabama, Tennessee. Tennessee, let's talk. Let's have a moment here. You all are a dumpster fire right now. Jerry Pruitt doesn't know how to wear a mask. He's firing defensive line coaches mid-game. Your team thinks that they can look past a Kentucky in the bottom of the SEC. I don't know where the arrogance came from, but since Peyton Manning left, y'all have been garbage. You have been a dumpster fire. I wouldn't trade you for a bag of manure.
Goodness.
Whoa.
Alabama, on the other hand, they are an absolutely out-of-this-world offense right now. I don't know why this spread isn't bigger. It's 21.5.
That's a huge spread, mate.
It's a big spread, but Tennessee sucks. They are bad. They are bad. They are bottom feeders of the SEC.
Whoa.
Jerry Pruitt's firing D-line coaches mid-game.
Fair.
In the game,
All
which
right.
I kind of love the move, but the defensive line wasn't the problem. That wasn't let's pin it all there on him. If he had been up to his defensive coordinator and was like, you're fired mid-game, then I'd be like, hell yeah, because that's what I think the Jets owner should do to Adam Gase. Just mid-game, halftime, just fire him.
So that's what Sheila Ford should do to Bob Quinn. Just let him go.
Yeah, so I love
get Lions in here.
I like Bama 21.5 here. I think they're going to kill them.
I don't hate it. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, you talked me into it, Nate. Tennessee is really bad. 21.5 is not that much.
I don't feel like it's a lot. Penn State, Indiana. This is a line. I want to touch this game, but I don't know how because it's at 6, and I feel like Penn State should blow the doors off them, but there's another part of me that's I could see this being super close. Because the defense, I think, is going to stuff Indiana, but Indiana's weird. They hang around in games they shouldn't hang around. We just talked about that. I don't know how I feel about this line right now at Penn State at 6.
I don't know how I feel about it either. This is one of those ones that I'm going to have to wait and watch because I could see Penn State blowing them out, but I could also see Indiana winning this game.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's why I'm not going to touch it, but I wanted to see if either of you had a pick there because it's a tough one there.
Dante, you're shaking your head at me.
No, I'm shaking my head at the fact that there is a possibility that Indiana wins this game. Obviously, the spread is only 6.5. So, yeah, this is a less than a touchdown. So, so I think I don't know. Like, I don't bet, but I damn sure wouldn't bet on this game.
No. Michigan Minnesota line,
and I'm staying away from it as well.
Yeah, that Michigan Minnesota line.
Minnesota.
3 points is the spread. Michigan is favored by 3. Over/unders at 54.
Makes no sense because Minnesota's a home dog, and I see them as the better football team. So,
yeah, I think I'd take a flyer on Minnesota more than I would take a flyer on Michigan, who's going to have to work some things out offensively. Like, for sure, we'll have to work some things out offensively. I think. Yeah, in my opinion.
I honestly wouldn't even want the points in this game.
Yeah, just take Minnesota the dog straight up. You go money line on it.
Just take the 130 because I mean. Truthfully, though, I don't see Michigan keeping this game close. Like, I see Michigan either coming out and proving a point and blowing Minnesota's doors off because they don't win close games, especially on the road.
Yeah.
They never have. Well, there was some crazy stat that they haven't won a game on a road against a ranked team since, like, 1990 something.
Yeah. And they've only won like 2 or 3 in the past so many years. Yeah, so.
Yeah, they've won like 1 or 2, and both times the team was like 24th, 25th. Now, Minnesota is number 25, but I think they're better than that. They just haven't played yet.
I'm in on it. I have Minnesota down. I'm switching to money line now. I had them on the spread, but I'm going to go money line with you here, Tim. Want to talk about this game, Tim? How are those SMU Mustangs looking? Cincinnati versus SMU. I laughed so hard watching that game. Like, hyped it up so much. The line, here's even the crazier part. They have this UC MSU game at 2, and MSU is the favorite. Over/under at 55. SMU. Sorry, SMU.
Watch some slander.
I'm a big, and I hate it, but I am a big UC fan right now with this football team. I got UC minus 2.5. I think they're a good program. Both sides of the football play good football. Defense plays good. Offense is playing real well before this COVID postponement last week. I was not overly impressed, to say the least, by your SMU team over there.
And neither was I.
I think I said something about that SMU game before we. You
just said you were going to watch it.
Yeah.
No way.
And I'm glad that I didn't.
I don't know if you have a pick there, but I got UC plus 2.5. My BYU team, what I tell you all, if any of you watch that game, they are so good. That team, watch out. I had UC as the team that might slip into the playoffs, maybe if this year gets crazy. I think BYU is, if they go undefeated, they are so good. It's insane.
They could be like the real Boise State team back when they ran the Statue of Liberty play against the OU that year, that they might have been able to do something if there were a college football playoff.
Yep. And Zach Wilson, who looks all of 16 years old, is legit. Like I said it,
so good.
He should be a Heisman candidate. If he played on any national powerhouse, he'd be the front runner. If he was at Ohio State right now, he'd be the front runner. If he was at any program, the way he's playing, it's absurd. He is insane. All right, cards. I don't have a big one right now. I'll probably add to it on Saturday and tweet it out, unless you have another game you wanted to talk about.
One more game I kind of want to touch on real quick is the Notre Dame-Pittsburgh game.
Oh, yes. I meant to bring that up. Yeah.
This is a game that's always close, and Notre Dame is a 10-point favorite, which seems high to me, especially after how they played against Louisville last week. I like Pittsburgh in this game simply because, and I don't think Notre Dame is as bad as they showed against Louisville. I just think they always play Pittsburgh close.
I agree with that.
And that's how it's always historically been. It's been one of those weird games that Notre Dame always struggles with, but they pull it out at the end.
I haven't decided yet, but I have not seen Notre Dame. I haven't seen that board well here for a bit. I was the Notre Dame whisperer to start off the season, went 5-0, as everybody knows. Hottest Notre Dame gambler out there. But I have since not done so well. The first half and first quarter are more intriguing because it's 5 at the first half is the spread and 3 in the first quarter. And Notre Dame does get off to fast starts. So that first quarter line, I don't know how I feel about it. It'll probably be on my card, but I haven't made a decision. I would expect them to maybe start fast, but then Pittsburgh to close the gap.
I don't see that happening.
Dude, when Notre Dame runs those scripted plays in the first quarter, they fire down, and then it's like they're good those first two series. Notre Dame is very good, and then it seems, at least last week especially, the other team seems to pick up a little bit more on it. That's just my read on it. But also, I'm not seeing them clearly right now. That is your warning there. But
if they play another 12-7 though, right? Which they definitely could. They could be on the opposite end of that 12-7.
I don't know if Pittsburgh. I don't know if Pitt has it. Maybe it's 100%. What I saw last weekend, it's possible, but I don't think Pitt has it in them. I've watched a bunch of Pitt football. I just don't think they have the stones to do it.
Here's my thing too. Like Pittsburgh is on a losing streak, right?
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to throw superstition into this, but dropping 4 in a row.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't think they have the stones to do it, to overthrow. I mean, it is the first game.
FSU after that, so
yeah, they are playing on the road, which is, Notre Dame has yet to go on the road, so maybe that factors into it. I just don't think they have it in them to pull it out. The football team I've seen, and they might do it, and they do play them close, like Tim said, so it's there. I think it'll be a very close game. I don't love the spread. If you're going to bet it, I think you take Pitt just on historical reference there. But I don't know. I don't love it. I think they have it in them, to be honest. Okay. But maybe they do. But yeah,
I have yet to pick one of these upset games. So don't listen to me.
I think they'll keep it close. I just don't think when it comes down to the fourth quarter, making the big play, they have that in them. Like, unless they are up, if they're up going into the fourth quarter, then yeah, it's feasible. But if they're down and they have to make some big plays, I don't see them being able to do that down the stretch. All right, cards. This is what I got. It's a small one. I'm going to add to it, but I got Illinois plus 19.5. It's the only Big Ten game I'm actually going to put any money on. I'm going to watch for the most part on that. And the over in the Nebraska-Ohio State game. I will do that. I got Syracuse plus 46. I've got Alabama minus 21. I've got BC. What did I get them at? I got them right now 3.5. I like BC there. I think Georgia Tech is way over their skis. I think Phil Jurkovec or whatever the hell his name is at BC, he's playing really good football right now. The passing game is clicking. Georgia Tech's secondary is bad. So I like BC there. And I like UC at plus 2.5. That's my card as of right now. I don't know, Tim, if you have any you want to put out there, but that's what I got.
Yeah, I got Illinois plus 19.5. I have Ohio State in the over at 68. I have North Carolina minus 15.5. Another one I have is Florida State plus 5 against Louisville. I think Florida State is starting to get their feet underneath themselves.
Yeah, that offense is
and I might even sprinkle money line here, because I do think, like I said, I think Florida State's starting to get their feet under themselves, and Mike Norvell is really starting to make some headway there at Florida State. They got a new quarterback, so it's not James. It's not Blackman, whatever his first name is. But Blackman, who feels like he's been there for like decades. So I'm going with Florida State plus 5.5. Plus 5, I mean. You talked me into the Alabama minus 21.5. I like that one. Let's see, scrolling through the rest of these. Minnesota money line. And that
I had Minnesota money line. That's on there too. Sorry, I got to do that.
And that should be it.
Cool. All right, we'll see how it plays. I'll tweet out my official card. Got the NFL show coming out on Saturday.
How are we doing this and we're not giving what you think for the Rutgers MSU?
I don't have a good feeling on that one. Are you kidding me?
You don't like that?
It's 13.5.
I don't like betting my own teams either, though.
No, okay.
That's a rule I used to have.
I gamble to get excited about games. If I want to like find a game in the 12 o'clock hour, I'll pick something and I'll gamble on it. Michigan State, I get too fired up about it. I don't need any more money on the line.
Fair enough. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
I don't think 13.5 is realistic. Is what?
That's
so you're picking Rutgers in the game. That's what you wanted me to do. You wanted me to pick Rutgers in this game. Is what you wanted.
I just think it's going to be a Big Ten game. It's going to be. Maybe 13.5 is realistic. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
That's why we play the games.
We'll find out.
It's going to be a hell of a weekend.
Yep.
That'll do it for us here. As always, peace.
Peace.